So Pump Fund launched its own token called Pump. Is this bullish or bearish for meme coins? And how will meme coins fare in the next few weeks, let's say compared to altcoins? I'm going to discuss all of that in this video. So let's get started. We're going to have a look at the chart of Pump at the beginning, but we're going to quickly touch on what the trends are when it comes to altcoins and meme coins. You may have seen some altcoin videos recently on my channel. Now, a few of them are doing really well at the moment. And I like to go to good old Google Trends when I look at what the interest in is in various sectors when it comes to cryptocurrency. And you can see that altcoins are now breaking out a little bit again. Obviously, we had that crazy run at the beginning of December. If you go further back, you should see the March peak here as well. So you can see that was 2021. March had a lower peak. Then we had another peak in November, and now we look like we're going to get the possibly the second peak, and that might be it. Who knows? But if we compare this to meme coins, so just change the search term, we can see how bullish everything was at the beginning of January, which you already know, especially with Solana Memecoins and all of the AI stuff. But how's it been recently? So all you do, this is TA, this is a form of TA. So you're zooming in now, and you can see we've been flat. We didn't completely die off, but we've been very, very flat from April going sideways. Not the case for altcoins. So there's a bit of a difference here. And then if you have a look in the last 90 days, you can see we're pretty flat too. So that is really important to know. The interest is more in altcoins at the moment. And that's what, on this channel, I'm just honest with you. Like if I see there's opportunity somewhere, or if I see something's dumping, I'm one of the first to let you know. And I've been doing that for years on this channel. Because making money in crypto is not easy anyway. But if you can actually protect from making big losses, that really helps the situation too. So we'll have a look at Pump, and then we'll have a look at some other meme coins as well. So when any new token launches, I've shared this before on X as well, but basically what you should expect, most have gone like this, it's rarely changed from it. What you should expect is initially an immediate minor dump, as soon as people get the token and it's live for trading, they just want to sell. For whatever reason straight away. Let's say they're making an easy 1.5x or something like that. So immediate, first few minutes, couple of hours, whatever, sell. But then we do get a nice pump. And the thing is, that pump, you don't know how long it's going to last necessarily, but from some basic TA, you can tell if it's continuing or if it's likely to break down. And this pump, the reason for this pump, there's many reasons, but one of them could be the team, for example, buying tokens. Another could be attention still on the token around various social media outlets. Another yet could be loads of calls shilling this all over the place. And then what we get after that is a slow, long, gradual dump. As interest wanes, people start selling. When people see the price dumping, many others with bags will sell too. Then people start getting to their break-even price and they panic and sell. And then people start selling for losses. And that goes on for weeks. And then we bottom out. And then sometimes there is a very, very decent rally. Like we saw on Pengu, which I'm very much involved in, or Kaito as well, which I've discussed on this channel several times. That's what we see afterwards. And this can only happen in really good crypto market conditions. So crypto market conditions. If the conditions are good. If we're in a raging bear market where everything's dumping 70-80%, it doesn't matter what token you have, it's not going to outshine everything else and be in green. It might take less losses, but just keep this chart in mind, because a lot of them kind of follow this. And I'm going to show you quickly Pengu here, which has been doing really well. Now a little bit of a pullback at the moment, but if you zoom out, we should be able to get most of the chart here. So you can see initial immediate dump, but then slow rise as there's interest. And sometimes this can last a day, 2 days, usually not longer than that. And then everybody disappears. And then the dump is usually very significant. So this dump in all was 93%. Crazy people holding bags throughout this whole dump. Makes zero sense to me. But again, not everybody's a trader and that way inclined to, take profits or take small losses and move on to another coin. Now from here, what I had seen was a very, very nice impulse, and I caught a good bit of this move. But then when we got the higher low, it was obvious. And now we're getting a very impulsive, what looks like a third wave. And in my opinion, we're going to get a fourth and the fifth, and then we'll be done. But this could still make significant moves. But notice the pattern. The pattern is the important thing. And the thing with Pump is, again, it depends a lot on how the token will do in terms of what they do. There's obviously talk of airdrops and many other things, but we don't care about that on this channel anyway. Like, we focus on the TA first and foremost. And I can see that we had that initial kind of pump over the first day or two, and that may have happened here and topped. We had a pullback, corrective pullback, and then the key was here, this higher low. First of all, it was very, very deep, which is not ideal. You'd want it to kind of pull down here and then start attacking this high again. So already it's not ideal. It's very, very low. And then the next thing is we had this major kind of lower high. And then again, you'd want it to pull back here to support and then kind of kick on. And now it's struggling. And the problem is from this low here and now this move up here, this move doesn't look impulsive. And all moves upwards start with an impulse at the beginning. It could be a diagonal as well, but it tends to be an impulse. This doesn't really map out as a diagonal either. So that's a little bit of a problem now, because if that's not impulsive, very likely we could be challenging those lows. And if you're challenging those lows, again, you just add everything up, there's a good chance this was it. Now, they may launch all kinds of fancy things in the coming days and stuff, and that will hold up price a little bit, but there's a good chance we could be in for a slow, steady dump. And this is even more dramatic given altcoins are all, well, not all, but the good ones anyway are going up, some considerably over the last few days, and I expect this to continue for the next couple of weeks. So this is not good for pump, for obviously bag holders of pump. Now, like I said earlier in the video, at some point, if it bottoms out, market conditions are good, then I think it's worth it for a trade. But right now, if I'm messing about with this one, I'm looking for shorts, obviously, not long positions. Now, obviously, it could still do like a larger correction upwards, but it's not looking impulsive. That's my point. So I don't think it's going to do some crazy rally, but again, you can always be wrong about these things. It's still possible, just not looking likely. And I know from all new token launches that after a few days, things kind of wane. Now, obviously, a lot of people are comparing this to hype, but it is very, very different. So you have to be very careful comparing to things like hype. But even with hype, we went through a little bit of a cycle. It was a little bit different in terms of their tokenomics and how they launched at the beginning. But notice that we still had that massive dump, bottomed out near when the altcoins are bottom. We're getting this really, really nice rally now where we 4x, 5x off the lows, which is significant. And there's nothing like, this is what an impulsive structure looks like. So you can see the difference. Very, very clean green strong candles, ever extending as we move up, with corrections along the way that are either flat corrections or quick zigzags, and then we catch previous support like we see here. Now, that's very likely a wave 4, by the way. So that could be a wave 4. So we might be doing the final move up, which has a little bit of way to go as well. Let's have a quick look at some of the meme coins. Meme coins we've talked about the last few weeks here. So these are on various different protocols. First one's Launchcoin, which again, I think price has been holding up, but this is kind of, it's past this point where it was going to do anything now. So in my opinion, I think it's very unlikely that this is going to go vertical. More likely, best case scenario is a scribble up, which is not worth it in terms of ROI now because there's better coins out there, or we just slowly kind of bleed and do nothing. So I'm not particularly interested in this one. The ones I'm involved in currently are Peanut and Mudang, just because they're good charts. They're really good charts, nice, impulsive looking. Again, even these, I don't think they're gonna like absolutely go vertical, but I'd rather park some funds there just in case. And also at minimum, if they go up a little bit impulsively, 300 to 400 million is not much on Peanut at all. But in terms of ROI, think about it. There's 33%. That's still going to be more than most altcoins. But now it's difficult. Now it's difficult because now you literally have that decision. Do you hold altcoins? And remember, in this particular video, we're not talking about quick, 15-minute holds on meme coins and stuff. We're talking about swing trading. And with swing trading, you're holding for days, sometimes a couple of weeks, stuff like that. Swing trade. So I'm treating these meme coins like altcoins almost. Have a look at some more. Startup. Again, traditionally in TA, when you see things messing about around all-time highs and choppy and going sideways, you'd think that was very bullish because it could kind of be consolidating and accumulating. But does it have enough volume? Like, it's 875 volume last 24 hours. Is there enough volume going in here to really push it on? Or are early bag holders, slowly taking profits while price is going sideways and slowly getting out of their positions? I don't know that for sure. I haven't done a deep dive into what the holders are doing in their positions. You can use things like holder scan to look at that, but you wonder just from the chart, it's been going sideways forever. And again, what is this when it's going sideways forever? This is called opportunity cost. What do I mean by that? Let's say you had $1,000. The problem with crypto, as I mentioned in my last altcoin video, is you're holding it in here. Weeks are going by and things like Pengu are going 2x, 3x and stuff like that, and your 1,000 is doing nothing. Now, you might get lucky and at some point it suddenly bursts out, but it's actually better, in my opinion, especially if you're a more nimble trader, just to wait, be in something else. If this does break out, they all break out the same when they do an impulse. Look, this is what they do. They go up a little bit first, so they break out of a channel, sideways resistance or whatever it is. They break up, pull back, break up, pull back. So you can catch on this one or this one. You can catch it along the way too. You don't have to wait while it's just going sideways. And remember, by not waiting, if it doesn't work out and it dumps, you're okay too, because you're not holding these types of bags. Next, Mudeng. Again, I'm not terribly keen on the chart, but still, I'm holding it because everything looks okay. So here on what are we on here? A 4-hour chart. We had this. The reason I'm holding is because of this really nice, very impulsive looking move. Nice pullback, like we saw with things like Pengu and stuff. And I'm hoping, we might get motoring here. Minimum get to 320, which again is not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but from 200 to 320, do the maths again. That is what? About 60%. Just to get up to here, which is not a big deal at all. But if you really zoom out, and all the crypto is booming and going crazy and stuff like that, maybe you could do a bit more. Maybe you could get to closer to all-time highs. I don't know. Again, don't really care. It's just a mathematical equation here when it comes to trading some of these coins. Some of the others, again, I don't really fancy because not enough volume, not really pushing, too much sideways, doing nothing. Even Altcoin, I'm not really interested in now because it's just too slow. It's not doing enough. Like, it's better to be in altcoins, I think, at the moment, even though this is obviously an altcoin as well. I just think there's better ones at the moment. I don't think the interest is there with memes at the moment. This is useless. So on this one, so when you get to a point here, this is the other equation you have to do. So when you get to a point, everybody shilled this, all the calls are shilled it, it's ran and fine, and I talked about this, a couple of months ago and stuff like that as well, when it's a good bit lower, and it's here, it's at 300. Yes, it could go higher and stuff like that, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not worth it now. So if you do the maths now, you're buying at 300, right? If it goes crazy volume, it's already got 5 million volume every 24 hours, crazy volume, it might get to 400, or if you're lucky, spike to 5 and suddenly drop. So you're probably not going to get that sell anyway. So 3 to 4, like you're making 30%, is it worth it? What if this is a topping pattern now, this is an ending diagonal and it's about to top, which is very possible. It's been literally in a straight line up. So if it's topping now, what's your risk of it suddenly dumping to 200? About the same as the risk of it going to 30%. About the same probability, in my opinion. So it's almost a losing coin flip here. It's not worth it, in my opinion, to take that trade. If it was down here somewhere, it's worth it. Here, it's not worth it. So I hope you understand the difference when it comes to these type of swing trades or meme coins or altcoins. You're just doing these equations in your head. That's kind of all you're doing. This is Let's Bunk. And again, another one, just since beginning of July, sideways, choppy, but not looking impulsive in the slightest. It was technically still holding higher lows, but it's kind of losing that now. And if it drops another, like to 6 or below 6 million, it's definitely done, in my opinion. I mean, it could go down, reset at 3, 4, and then do some crazy run, but it's less and less likely. Not a lot of volume either. Hosico, another one I discussed in a previous video, didn't make it. It was looking all right. Looks like it could get going. But this pullback is getting too deep now. When it gets too deep, that's a problem. Because this chart, if it was really pushing and not ended, this is probably a 5 ended now. If it was really pushing, it would have gone sideways here at all-time highs and then tried to make a push to 100. Not worth it now. And also because it's at higher levels, similar to the useless coin we had discussed, it's equal risk, in my opinion, a dump and a move up. Not worth it. There's not enough bullishness in meme coins anyway. And with all this stuff going on with pump and the attention there, again, you worry about what's going to happen with meme coins in the very, very short term. So in my opinion, check out my altcoin video recently if you want to have a look at that. But altcoins are where you can definitely park and make 30, 40, 50% minimum, and hopefully more 200% or more. And you can see here, even as we're talking, like when I started this video, pump was down 10%, and it's just dumping now. So it's going literally in the opposite direction to all of the altcoins, which is not a good sign. And this is what happens. And more and more people watch this chart, more and more people are gonna take their money out and be like, this is not worth it. It's just going sideways. And what's worse when they see this is other stuff. Even ETH is pumping. ETH is complete garbage, and even it's up 7%. It's finally done something. But again, I still feel sorry for the people who hold ETH, because what are you holding for? I mean, there was many hundreds of thousands of percent to be made this cycle, and you're holding this shit. Anyway, I've got nothing personally against ETH. It's just an equation again. The equation is, look at the damn chart. Like, since 2022, it's done nothing. We're just going sideways. It's not as bad as something like AVAX. You have to be really struggling with life, to be holding something like AVAX. Look at the chart. But people do. They bag hold forever. It starts pumping. They get excited, tell their friends about it. Keep bag holding. The whole damn thing dumps again. Loads of calls got people trapped in December when things were going up, because nobody's ever taken any profits. Nobody ever takes profits in crypto, and that's one of the biggest issues. Things always do get a pump. If you don't take profits with this stuff, you're in big trouble, because there were people buying AVAX here in November 2021. What do you think they're doing, the bag holders from there? Look how far we are down in price. Again, I'm going on a tangent here, but my point is exactly what I'm saying. Be very, very picky. There's just a few coins. If everything is up 2-3%, that doesn't mean anything. Mana is not a coin you want to buy. It's up 2% today. This is a shit altcoin. Like, really, really shit. This is not a coin to buy ever for any reason. So stay away from that. Look for better charts, bullish charts. So even Solana, it's looking okay. It's pumping at the moment. I'm still not convinced about this move from the April lows. So, don't be surprised if all we get is that, and that's your lot. And at 200, we call it a day, and then, that's the bear market. Don't be surprised, but you always hope for the best. You hope that it runs and makes all-time new highs, stuff like that. But for me, it wouldn't make sense. That looks like a complete structure here. Unless this is some sort of larger fall or something, I don't think it makes sense. I think everything nicely timed with Solana. It was a nice top there, because that's when meme coin attention had topped very nicely. And obviously people use Solana mostly for trading meme coins. So I think everything makes perfect sense to me there. This kind of run of Solana to 500 or 1,000 that people are saying, it makes no sense to me, in my opinion. And to be honest, the damn pump fund coin, pump fund can't stop selling Solana every single day anyway. So what are you going to do? What's Solana supposed to do? You've got this constant sell pressure. Again, I'm rambling too much. Thanks for listening. I'll see you in the next one.